Hi, and welcome to our concert tonight. I'm very proud of these students. They've worked very hard, and today was the first day that they heard themselves as a whole band. So normally we rehearse in 2 classes, and there's a couple of things I'd like to point out. So would Spencer and Alexis just raise your hand? Yeah, there are clarinet players in the brass class. And other clarinets, raise your hand. They're all in the other class. So they were like pretty relieved to hear how many clarinets we had. And then in the other class, can the 4 brass players raise your hand? Yeah, so we got the 2 in the 3rd hour class and then the 2 over there. Yeah. And now all the other brass players raise your hand. Yeah, they're all in the other class. So this was a pretty neat thing. So I think you'll really enjoy this concert. I'd also like to point out that today we only have 1 absence I didn't know about. So out of a band this large in 6th grade, that is amazing. So thank you for getting all your kids here. And in the student that missed defense, he just arrived in Greenville like 2 weeks ago. So he's only been in our class for 2 weeks. So anyway, the next piece we're going to play for you is called Overture in B-flat. And this one, we spent a lot of time learning what an overture is. And this is a pretty tricky one because it changes to 3/4 time in the middle. That one was called Montego Bay, and we practiced that one when it was snowing, like last week. I mean, it was cold, snowy. That's when we started doing that piece, dreaming of the warm Montego Bay. The next one we're gonna play, this is our newest one, and we had just learned how to do dotted quarter eighth notes, and this one has a whole ton of that rhythm in it, so I thought it would be perfect. I also told them this afternoon, this song has more measures in it than their entire concert in December had. So it is a lot. It's longer than their actual amount of music they learned for the first concert they did for you in December. Also, before I say this, or before we play this tune, these kids work incredibly hard every day, and it takes a lot of practice and grit and determination to become a musician. And it takes every musician a different amount of time to sort of find where they're at practicing. Some kids practice for never, and some kids practice a lot. And somewhere along the musical journey, kids start to practice. And even if it's just a little bit at a time. And then someday in your life, it might even become the part of your day that you enjoy the most. That's what it is for me now. But I remember when I was in school, I practiced like just a little above never. And it got me through until I started taking lessons in high school. And that's where I really started to practice. So this is a long story for just a short comment. And we need to keep these kids in our program. And whatever it takes to keep these kids in our program, because imagine what they'll sound like as seniors. If they sound this good already after 1 year of playing music, what are you going to sound like 7 years from now when music is easy? So the next one's called Spanish Rose. Feel free to tango as long as you don't get out of your seat. Oh my gosh, we're at the end already. I have some people to thank. Without this amazing auditorium staff that we have, and I have to tell you, I get to play in auditoriums everywhere, and we have a top-notch crew here. If you were to go up in that room up there that's above everybody's head and see all of the crazy gadgets that are up there that run all these lights and I mean, change all those backgrounds and all that stuff, it looks like a complicating airplane cockpit or something. And I can honestly tell you, I have no idea how to turn the lights on in here. There's a switch there that turns the light on so I can see when I walk in and trip on stuff. But this, I have no idea. And all of this light that we have here is controlled by a student group that's run by Jackie Carnes. So will you please give a big round of applause to Jackie Carnes? We also are really lucky to have a good sound person here. Sound is tricky, you know. If you go places and they don't know how to run sound for a group like this, or a jazz group, or a choir, you get some really interesting sounds. And I once played a gig where the guy only knew how to mix a rock band, and we were a jazz group, and all you could hear was the guitar and the drums. So it was a weird gig. But we have a top-notch person here that not only runs the sound and teaches students how to run the sound, also knows how to use all this equipment. That mixer right there has more than 150 channels. You can plug 150 things into it, and you have to know what you're doing when you do that. So that is run by Chris Chapman, and Chris Chapman is around here somewhere. So thank you, Chris Chapman, and his group of students that's helping us tonight. And finally, a very favorite person in my life, my wife, who is the auditorium producer, the person that connects all of the dots, makes sure that you get a seat. We have stuff on stage that you know about it, and all of the groups that are working together, she combines them all and makes sure everybody knows what to do. And that is Jennifer Radtke, and happy anniversary. It's our 25th today. If I had $1 for every time that we've had a concert on, well, I'd have $25, which wouldn't be enough to buy an anniversary present. This is their absolute favorite song, and you'll know why. So thank you for coming tonight. Here is Star Wars.